Hi guys, in this tutorial we're going to discuss about Azure DevOps and Azure DevOps Services, and later we will be creating app services for development and production, and then after I will show you how to create organization and project in Azure DevOps. Then after we integrating the project with the existing repository from GitHub, then we create a build pipeline, and then we release the pipeline and we check in the code for continuous integration and continuous delivery. Then if we're gonna face any problem, I will show you how to do troubleshooting, and later at the end of the video I will show you how to create a Vue.js app. That's it. So these are the Azure DevOps services. At first we're gonna discuss about Azure Boards, which is to create work items. People coming from Scrum background and project management background, they know how to create features, epics, tasks, and all other feature assignments and test cases, bugs. After development, they will push the development to the source control, which is Azure Repos. So here in Azure Repos, here you can integrate your repositories and to store your code. It will help you to store all the information of your development source, so you can integrate and start checking your application code when you keep your code in your repos. And the next is Azure Pipeline, where CI/CD happens here. It will help building of code is done by Azure Pipeline, which is CI, continuous integration, and the release of the code is done by CD, which is continuous delivery in a particular environment. And the next is Azure Test Plans, which used to do testing, manual test or automated test cases or exploratory test cases. And the next is Azure Artifacts. If you have some DLL or jar files which you want to store, it is a part of your repository. In this video I will use GitHub repositories. I kept my code which has been done in Vue.js. You can use Azure Repos as well, but in this case I'm using GitHub. Later I will show you how to integrate your code between GitHub and Azure DevOps. And let's start with the app services. So this is Azure portal. Here I will click app services. At first we will create the development app service, and then after I will create the production app service. I will click add. Here I will give the resource group. I already have the app server resource group, and I will give a name for my app service URL, dev my app, and I will choose runtime stack as Node 10.14, and I want to create on Windows. I will select the region, and I have the plan which is standard S1, and I'll click next. And for the monitoring I don't need, and I will create the tags, name dev server, and I will click create. And now I'll create the production server, which is quite similar. It's going to take a couple of seconds for the deployment. Now I have created two app services, and we will see the URL of the dev app. When you click this URL, you have a default web page. In this particular web page, we're gonna deploy our application using Azure DevOps. So when you see Azure DevOps, it's gonna look like this, and you click, and then after you click continue, and you have to give your organization name. In my case I'm gonna give dev. You're gonna select the region. So now you're gonna give your project name. We're gonna give project 1. You can keep public or private, it's up to you. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect to my GitHub repositories, which is my Facebook page. I did a clone Facebook page. Click GitHub connections. When you click this GitHub connection, it will ask for the username and password for the first time. I did it before, so it's not asking for me. So I will choose my repository. So my repository is added to Azure DevOps. So now we're gonna work on this particular repository. So the first thing, we have a requirement while working on a project. For instance, your team leader or a manager will tell to update the code of this repository. So they will assign a task for you. For instance, update readme file, and they're gonna assign to a member. In this case, I'm the only one person. I will say I'm doing it. So try to remember the task is 1 here. So I will go to my readme file. I will try to make a couple of changes, so which I have done previously. Again, I will do some changes. Updated from website for second time. So now you're gonna create a new branch for this commit to start a pull request. Then you will propose a file change. When you propose a change, the GitHub will make a notification. As you updated the code, you have to tell them that you have fixed it. You can keep fixes or fixed on Azure Boards #1. Our task is number 1, so which you can see here. So now you're going to create a pull request. As soon as you click the pull request, this GitHub icon is going to pop up, and you click this readme file, and you ask for the merge, and you'll ask for the confirm merge. As soon as it's done, it goes to the done stage. Now we're gonna work on Azure pipelines. Click Azure pipelines. At first, we're gonna build our project, which is continuous integration. Click create pipeline. Then the list gonna pop up. Where is your code? So you can put your code in Azure Repos, GitHub, and in other repositories. I'm using the classic editor, so I have more options for building the pipeline. So I use GitHub. So my code is on GitHub, which we have seen before. My Facebook page. I'm gonna click continue. As our project using the Node modules, so we are building the project on Node using Vue. So I'm gonna type Node. I'm gonna select. The first thing, we're gonna install the npm modules. Actually, I don't need this one. I'm gonna remove it. After installing the npm, we have to build our project. So the command is custom. As we need to build the project for production, we use npm run build. In this case, we don't have to use npm. It will automatically takes the npm to build the project, and we have to define the folder, the build folder, which is distribution folder, which is dist, and then after we're gonna click triggers. This build is continuous integration. We're gonna include the master branch. The changes will go straight to the master branch, and we're gonna save and queue. This build process gonna take a couple of minutes, or it might be seconds. So you can see all the procedure. Now it is installing the npm package modules. After this, it gonna build the project for the CI pipeline. As you can see, the build has been done. Now we're gonna do the release for this particular build. We click release and we create the new pipeline. For this continuous delivery, I'm gonna choose Azure App Service Deployment. The first thing we have to select artifact for our project. And it will ask for the latest version. So sometimes it's gonna pop up automatically, but anyway, it's better to enable the continuous deployment. We're gonna build on a master branch. You can click the pull request trigger, but in this case I'm not gonna do it. So on stage 1 you have to select your subscription and you have to authorize it. As soon as this authorization is done, you will see your app service name here for the production. Since we are doing the production, as we are running our app service on Windows, so we're gonna select web app on Windows. So we are doing the development app, then we select the deploy Azure App Services. I'm gonna make a couple of changes here. Select deployment method, which is web deploy. I'm gonna click this one, remove additional files at destination. As you can see, this is an additional file which is kept by Azure App Service, so we have to remove while we are deploying our code. And we are pretty much done with it, and I'm gonna click save and I create release, which is continuous delivery. Click create and we will see the release 1, which is deploying. It's gonna take a couple of seconds to deploy. As you can see, the deployment is succeeded. And if you go to the Azure, the app service, and you will have your development URL from app service here, which is this one. Click this URL and you will be seeing your web page. This is a clone of Facebook web page. And now we're gonna do a couple of changes on the code on the local machine, not on the GitHub. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna clone our code to our local machine. I'm gonna use git clone As you can see, all the files are here. We're gonna do another change using Azure Boards. So we will have a requirement in the project. So they will tell us to change the open quick profile or any text on the front page. So we have a requirement from the manager or team leader. Change the front page text. This is for an example, and which is assigned to a person, and the task number is 2, and I will say I'm doing it. We're gonna change open quick profile to some other text. So this is my git bash cd src cd components nano void.view. So I will make a change here. Profile requirements needed, and I will save the file and I'll do git add. I'll make an commit git 0 commit. As you can see, when we fix the issue, we have to use our task number on Azure Boards, which is number 2 here, fixed, or you can use fixes. Azure Board task 2 front page text is changed. As soon as you click enter and you push it, this has to go here automatically. So the push has been done, and yeah, you can see it has been done automatically to the done stage. Now we will see the change is happened on our web page or not. Before we gonna see our pipelines, it's gonna process the request and it will release our requirement. So the release 2 has been created automatically, and when the release gets succeeded, you can see our web page text will change. So still it is in progress. It's gonna take another couple of seconds. So now it is succeeded. If we go to our web page and we click refresh, and the change has been done, profile requirements needed, and we don't want this change in the future, then we can click release and it will automatically go to the change, and we're gonna click redeploy and we're gonna deploy it. So this process gonna take, and when it is succeeded, and you're gonna see, you can see the changes will go back to the previous one. So the changes has been done to our web page. the changes will go back. So in real time, someone needs to approve our changes for the production. So we're gonna make a couple of changes on the CD pipeline. So I will keep this as QA, quality assurance, or development, and I'll make a clone of this one, and I will make a change here as production or prod. And for the production, the server is different. We need to deploy our web app on the production server. Here we have the prod my app, and we're gonna click save, and we create a release. As you can see here, someone needs to approve our production while the new changes has been done. So I will click approval. It could be a manager or your team leader. In this case, I'm the only one person. I will make a change, and when the change has been done with the CI, and you will get a approve request here. So we'll make a change from our local desktop. So click save. Okay, go to Azure Boards, update text with profile details, please. As you know about this one, so the task number is 3. We go to our code, we make changes. Yep, I have been given already. I will type git add git commit fixed Azure Boards 3 changes done, git push, and this has to go to the done stage. So when we see our pipelines, the build pipeline is in progress to build the code. As you can see here, and then after it will automatically go to the release, and we can see our changes on our website. Oh sorry, I forgot. At first we're gonna get the approve request on our production server. As you can see, our development server has been started. When the development server is done, and we'll get a request with a button approve to make changes on the production server. So as you can see, the pending is approval. When we approve, then the changes will done on the production server. So it's gonna take a couple of seconds or minutes to deploy the code. I will try to click refresh. Yeah, it has been succeeded. And if you go to the URL on run agent, So this is the URL for the production app, and when we click, as you can see, profile details please, and this is our production server and this is our development. We have to click refresh. As you can see, the development and the production server has the same output. Now we will see how to do a troubleshoot. When you deploy the code on a particular server, we will get a default page. After deploying, we'll get the same page without our code output. For that, we have to go to deployment center and we have to disconnect with our release. When you click disconnect, so we have to choose the FTP dashboard, and we're gonna use a tool called WinSCP. So this is the tool we're gonna use. As we have chosen FTP protocol, so we have to copy this particular link and paste it here, and we need the username. And we're going to log in into our particular server. Now we log into our development server. So our code is on desktop. This is the build file, and click drag and drop to our root file, then click refresh and it will automatically save. And when you go to our URL, the development URL, you will get the output of your code, and then after you can automatically do the continuous delivery without doing with this setup. And now I will show you how to create a Vue.js app. Create, and this will create the Vue application. Try to choose the default requirements, click enter. It's gonna take 1 or 2 minutes to install all the plugins required for the Vue app. And I will tell you how to push your Vue code onto your GitHub. Click new repository, give a name, example Vue app. You can choose public or private, it's up to you. I forgot to say about this. As you are integrating your pipelines or Azure Boards with GitHub, go to GitHub Marketplace. When you come to GitHub Marketplace, try to find Azure, and you have all the plugins required for your Azure project. And when you are done with your repository, as you can see, the Vue app is created. So the list of files has been created for the Vue app, and we will try to push the code to the Git repo. So this is the Git repository we have created. We're gonna initialize the Git. push as you need to do the git commit, which is I did first commit, and then after we're gonna push the code, git push, so the code will push, the local code will push to your git repository, and try to refresh the page, and then you will get your files without node modules. And that's it for the tutorial. Thank you, bye.